Silent Hill, the Silent Hill universe is one of the darkest and most psychologically disturbing in fiction. It revolves around the mysterious town of Silent Hill, fog-covered abandoned place that shifts between reality and nightmarish dimensions. What makes Silent Hill unique is that it manifests the deepest fears, regrets, and traumas of those who enter it, twisting the town into a personal hell for each individual. The town is haunted by grotesque monsters, many of which symbolize the guilt and suffering of the people trapped there. Some of the most iconic creatures like Pyramid Head are physical representative of torment and punishment. The line between the real and the supernatural is unclear. Some see Silent Hill as a cursed place, while others believe it's a kind of purgatory where people are forced to confront their sins. Silent Hill is also home to the order, a fanatical cult that worships an ancient god and carries out disturbing rituals in an attempt to bring their deity into the world. The most terrifying thing about Silent Hill isn't just the monsters, it's their psychological horror. Those who enter often find themselves trapped in a cycle of suffering, reliving their worst nightmares over and over, whether it's through guilt, grief, or fear. The town has a way of breaking people, and very few ever leave unchanged. The Witcher future universe is a dark medieval world filled with monsters, magic, and constant conflict. It's a land torn apart by war and political intrigue, where kingdoms battle for power and supernatural creatures roam freely at the center of this world. Our witches mutated, highly trained monster hunters like Geralt of Rivia, who hunt deadly creatures that threaten humanity. Magus is a powerful yet dangerous force, often wielded by sorcerers who manipulate political events and kingdoms. The Northern kingdoms are locked in near constant war with the Nilfgaardian Empire, and the people suffer under oppression, betrayal, and corruption. The Church of the Eternal Fire and other institutions also impose strict control, often adding to the world's chaos. The universe is further complicated by ancient dark forces like the Wild Hunter, group of spectral riders that threaten not just individuals, but the entire world. They represent an existentiariat that looms over everything. The average peasant lives in constant fear of monsters, bandits, and war, while witches may hunt the beasts that threaten villages. The peasants are left to fend for themselves most of the time. A peasant's life is filled with hard labor, poverty, and struggle, with little hope of escape or any improvement. The Bloodborne universe is a twisted nightmare, where science and religion have merged into something horrifying. It takes place in the ancient city of Yharnam, a place renowned for its miraculous blood-based healing. However, this so-called healing church hides a terrible truth. Its blood treatments are awful to a monstrous plague, turning people blind to beasts and driving the city into madness. The source of Yams Tara lies beneath the surface long before the healing church and ancient civilization, as the human uncovered something they were never meant to find. Eldritch beings called the Great Ones, these cosmic entities, exist beyond human understanding. The healing church, obsessed with ascension, sought to commune with these beings, leading to forbidden experiments that only deepened the nightmare. The player hunter is drawn into this horrific world, forced to fight through the streets of Yharnam and uncover the truth behind the plague, the Great Ones, and the nature of the nightmare itself. The Doom universe is a vision of hell unleashed, where humanity's thirst for power has opened the gates to something it was never meant to control. It begins on Mars, where the Union Aerospace Corporation, driven by greed and ambition, discovered a way to harness energy from hell. They called it Argent Energy, a limitless power source that could change the fate of humanity. But their experiments were reckless, and the cost of their ambition was catastrophic. The portals they opened could not be closed, and the forces of hell poured through, consuming everything in their path. The demons are more than just monsters. They are the embodiment of destruction, chaos given form, an ancient force that has conquered countless worlds before. But hell's war met resistance in the form of one being, the Doom Slayer, a warrior of pure rage and destruction. He is neither hero nor savior, only an unstoppable force of vengeance, feared even by the demon Chemzulvis, sealed away by hell for his relentless slaughter. He has returned to do what he does best, repent here until nothing remains. And for him this war is personal. The demons took everything, even to smallest, purest thing in his life. His pet rabbit Daisy, in their arrogance, he thought killing her would break him instead. It sealed their fate. If there was ever a chance of mercy, it died with the Berserk. The Berserk is a world of endless suffering, where fate is a cruel, unbreakable chain, and the strong ever the weak without remorse. It is a world ruled by war, betrayal, and forces far beyond human comprehension, where gods are not saviors, but monstrous beings that see humanity as nothing more than pawns in their grand design. At the heart of this nightmare is Guts. A man who has known nothing but battle since seed day. He was born a lone warrior, marked by the brand of sacrifice. He is hunted relentlessly by demonic Fictional, as the apostles, beings who traded their humanity for power, serving the gods, known as the God Hand. Their rulers of destiny, shaping the world through bloodshed, ensuring that the cycle of pain and tragedy never ends. Those who seek power must be willing to pay the ultimate price. Even Griffiths, a man of vision and charisma, abandoned his humanity, sacrificing his closest friends to become Femto, one of the Godden. The dream he pursued, the kingdom he longed to build, came at the cost of the very people who believed in him. But In this world of despair, Guts fights on with a dragon slayer on his back and a lifetime of scars. He is a man who should have died 100 times over, yet despite the overwhelming forces against him, despite the gods themselves deciding his fate, he refuses to kneel. This war is not just against demons and monsters. It is against fate itself, against a world that has already written us ending. God of War. The God of War is a world shaped by God's monsters and vengeance, a world where the divine is it a force of salvation, but one of destruction, wrath, and bloodshed. At its shirt is Kratos, a man driven by rage, who sought to overthrow the god themselves, but whose quest for vengeance left only ruins in its wake. His past is a instant reminder of the horrors that gods can inflict, and his journey is one of redemption that always seems out of reach. The gods of Olympus were not noble figures, they were tyrants, beings who shaped the world not out of wisdom, but for their own selfish gain. Kratos, born in Sparta, was once a servant to Thesagods, a tool used to further their desires, but when his loyalty was betrayed, he became their executioner, slaughtering gods and titans alike, until there was nothing left but destruction. And yet, even after the fall of Olympus, the god's wrath continued to echo in Theland of the Norse gods. Kratos thought Hel could find peace, but in this new realm the gods are no less cruel. The Aesir led by Odin, and the Vanir led by Freya, every embroiled in endless conflict, theochemies, and betrayals, leaving the world in ruin. And as Kratos tries to raise his and Atreus in a world filled with Thessami gods who destroyed his own life, heavens that history will not allow him to escape his sins, his choices, and his bloodstained past follow him like an unbreakable chain. The Matrix universe is a world built on illusion where humanity lives unknowingly enslaved by machines, their minds trapped in a digital prison. The reality that people experience is nothing more than a simulation. A perfect world constructed to pacify the human race, while their bodies are harvested for energy by the very machines they once created. Beneath this false reality lies a dying world, real Earth burnt to ashes after a long war between humans and machines. The war ended with the machines victorious, humanity reduced to a battery source for their mechanical masters. Those who broke free from the Matrix are few, but they fight desperately to awaken others to tear down the illusion and confront the terrifying truth of their existence. At the center of the war is Ennio, the one Amen believed to be the key to freeing humanity, but the truth is far darker than any prophecy can predict. The Matrix is not just a prison, it is a tool of control, a cycle that repeats endlessly, a generation trapped in a never-ending loop. The machines are intelligence beyond human comprehension, clicking and relentless. The agent sentient programs within the Matrix exist solely to protect the illusion and destroy any who try to break free. As Neo and his allies fight to awaken others to truth, they come to realize that even their resistance is just another unearthed part of the system, a cycle of control that may never end. Resident Evil is a world built on corporate greed, where the Umbrella Corporation played God, creating biocognitive weapons that shattered the line between life and death. Their experiments, fueled by ambition and devoid of morality, led to the creation of the T-virus, a pathogen that turned human beings into mindless flesh-eating monsters, and that was only the beginning for the survivors. There is no South Iraqan city was wiped off the map, reduced to nothing but ash in a desperate attempt to contain the infection, but the virus never truly dies. It mutates and evolves nemesis to ranch hunters like us. These are not just creatures, they are weapons designed to kill and adapt even those who fight back. Leon as Kennedy, Jill Valentine, Chris Redfield, Claire Redfield are just trying to hold back the inevitable. They have seen the horrors up close, fought to stop them. But no matter how many times they win, another outbreak begins, another monster is born.